telling me, forward, Samantha, forward. And then I'd stop sometimes because I thought I heard the guy stop, and she'd yell at me again, Samantha, we're still going. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. All right, welcome back, everybody, for part 2. Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, I said it last week. We had no idea this was going to be this long. But honestly, it was like the longest cruise of our lives. But it didn't feel like the longest cruise of our lives. You know how like some cruises feel really long? This one didn't. So, but while we retold it, we're like, wow, this is long. So we broke it into 3 parts. This is part 2 of Iceland. So it's England to Iceland is what we were on. And it started July 27th. So here is part 2 of that. Enjoy. The next day we were in Lerwick, which was right across the street. I'm kidding. It's kind of across the pond. And so we went to Lerwick, which is the Shetland Islands, and we signed up for another Virgin Shore thing. And that was what? Keller's?
Well, I don't remember the exact title. It was
I might have it.
Shetland Sceneries and something ponies. But we kept calling it Shetland Ponies, thinking that that was like the whole excursion. I can't remember what the word was before ponies, but we spent about 5 minutes with the ponies, and we had a lot of people on our excursion that were not happy that they thought the same thing, that this was all about the Shetland ponies. We pretty much sat on a bus for 2 hours, and they took us to different spots. You know, we got out and took pictures. I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't what we were expecting, again, because I think we thought something in our head based on the title and didn't really read the whole 100%. Thing.
Yeah, we weren't mad about it. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't mad about it, but we definitely were like, weren't we? I thought we were hanging out with ponies all day.
Yeah.
I was planning on hopping on one at some point and being like, let's bareback this shit out of here. But that was not what happened.
No, we had 5 minutes with the ponies. The bus dropped us off in this woman's front yard, which she had maybe 6 or 7 Shetland ponies in a fenced-in area, so we couldn't get super close to it. I mean, you could reach over and pet them if you wanted to. She went around and told us all their names and how old they were and a little bit about, Shetland ponies, and then it was off we go because our excursion was an hour late.
Yeah.
And this was a tender port, so we had to get on a tender to get back to the ship, and the last tender was supposed to be at like 4:30, and we didn't get back till 5:30.
Yeah, we were super late.
We were really late, but it was a Virgin excursion, so they waited for us. I think there might have been one behind us that we still had to wait for.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, you're right, because they didn't pull the thing in.
Yeah, the tender, they left another tender there.
Yeah, they didn't pull there was a tent that was out there just for the people standing out checking everyone, and that tent didn't get pulled after we went. So I was like, ooh, they're waiting for somebody or something. So yeah, but it was definitely an excursion. Like, we saw all of the island, but when we first got off, I will say we got off early because we had a later excursion. We got off early. We walked through the town. So if you ever go to Lerwick, it's absolutely darling. The town is literally right there. It was a tender port. They did have a tender mishap in the morning, and because we were late. This was the one we were late in. Mm-hmm. Yes, I don't know why we were late. I have to be honest. There was no reason for us to be late, but we were late. And they had a tender mishap because I think people just went down thinking they could get off, and it just turned out to be a cluster. And then people were pissed and angry, and it's like, come on, people, like, just don't worry about it.
It's the same thing when you board. They line you up by time, so the tender is the same way. They had lines. Here's the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, whatever times they were. We
don't know if they had that. Like, I don't know if that's what they ended up having, because it sounded like everyone was downstairs. Like, when I had read some of the posts and people complaining, it sounded like everyone made their way down to deck 4.
Oh, thinking they could just get off.
Yeah, and they were just clustered in there, and they were like, nope, you can't. Like, that's what I understood. So, like Kelly said, it ended up being, or could have been, that people just missed it. Who knows? I don't know. But that there was just like getting on board, it was the times, and then they shoveled you into these areas to wait. But by the time we got off, like Kelly said, keep going, sorry.
Yeah, we ended up not having a time because we had an excursion booked and we didn't know we were getting off early. That morning, we were like, okay, let's look. And the first one was 12:15. So we're like, let's just book it. Mm-hmm. and go down earlier and see if we can get on, because sometimes they just move people. Sometimes people don't show up for their time. So don't worry about it. If you don't get a time right away, you will get off the ship.
Yes, you're getting off.
But if you have an excursion booked, your tender is included in that at the time that your tender starts or your excursion starts. So, yeah.
So we got off early to go walk around to see the town. And I'm glad that we did, because we wouldn't have seen it otherwise, because of the way that our excursion ended. So we got off, we walked through the town. We actually did this beautiful walk along the edge and around the side of the island. And there was a gorgeous park over there and a cemetery. And it was absolutely gorgeous. It's called the Nab, right?
Yeah.
It was called the Nab. The walk was called the Nab. And so then we ended up going up and then back into town. And then we walked the town a bit more and we had a drink at the one bar that seemed to not be as busy as all the rest, but all of the bars were busy. All of them.
We ended up in a hotel bar
that we barely found, because Anthony was like, there's no bar in here. I'm like, keep going. We're going to find it. So we ended up, or maybe you said, or somebody said, there's no bar in here. I'm like, we're finding it. It said it was in here. We're going to find it. So we ended up finding it, and there's two of them. One of them was busy, and the other one wasn't so busy. So we ended up there, but they were slow as molasses, man. Don't do it right before you're supposed to do something. I had to shovel down the gin and tonic. And so I had gin. Kelly I had
a beer, an IPA.
Yeah, a local beer. And then I had local gin, raspberry, I think it was, with tonic. It was freaking so good. And then we ran to our excursion. And the excursion was, it was informational.
Yeah. It was fine.
Yeah. It was informational.
It just wasn't what we were expecting.
We were on a bus the whole time. We were like, wait, listen, if you know me and you've listened to this, you know I hate buses and I don't like it with a lot of people. So I'm like, oh my God, this is like my worst nightmare. And I was like falling asleep too, because I just had a drink and now the bus is kind of lulling me to sleep. And this woman's sweet voice is lulling me to sleep. So I'm like, I'm falling asleep. But I picked up a few things. I didn't really fall asleep. But then we stopped at a bunch of different places and saw a bunch of different things. And she taught us about the island. But we literally went around the whole island. I think they just did the whole island and stopped at the ponies. And we saw them for a hot second, like Kelly said. And I didn't touch them because...
I didn't touch them either.
There was a baby there. The baby was cute. And then that was it. Got on the bus and they shoveled us back. And then we hurried up on the thing and went in. And I think that's when we ate at Pink Agave, because we were all starving.
Yeah.
So we ate at Pink Agave that night, and I don't know that I've ever been that hungry in my life at Pink Agave. I think I just end up eating there because, that's what it is, but because I don't even know when the last time I ate. I think it was at breakfast, and then we ate at dinner.
Yeah.
Because we didn't eat at in the town.
No.
We did not have haggis.
We get that at home.
We do have that here. We're okay with the haggis. We've checked that box a long time ago.
Once a year, we have haggis.
Yeah, so we're all right with skipping the haggis. So yeah, so then we got back on the ship, and I don't even know what we did that night, but sure, who knows? I probably went to bed.
We did all go to bed early a couple nights because it was just a lot.
Oh no, that was Scarlet Night.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, because we went to Pink Agave in our clothes.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then we went back and changed.
And we Scarlet Nighted it.
Scarlet Night. Yeah.
That was a blast. We had a good time at Scarlet Night. I really enjoyed that Scarlet Night.
Freezing cold.
We froze our heinies off.
So we rented a cabana on the second or the deck that overlooks the pool, which I've seen a lot of people not complaining, but saying, why would anybody want to rent those? And
yeah.
It's great for Scarlet Night because you don't have to rush to get up there.
Yeah.
So once everything is done down at the roundabout and you finished following the happenings cast around or whatever it is you do on Scarlet Night, because everybody has their own routine, you don't have to rush to get up there because you have a front row spot.
Yeah.
But it was really cold.
Yeah, it was probably... Yeah, it was probably the worst night we could have chose to do that because of the fact that obviously deck 16 is going to be way colder than deck 15 because it's a little covered. Now, don't get me wrong, the air still goes down and up and in, but it's not as bad as deck 16 where it just literally goes whoosh across deck 16. So we're literally we've got towels on us. Our hoods are up. Our jackets are on. I have pants underneath my dress. I look like the biggest dork on the planet. I look like I belong in upstate New York and a snow day. So, this is what we look like on Scarlet Night. And everyone's like, you need to jump in. Well, at this point, we have had enough alcohol that I probably could have. And I honestly think that if I was on deck 15, I would have totally jumped in because I had plenty of alcohol at that point. Okay. But deck 16.
Shot guy.
Shot guy, yeah. Shot guy. Shot guy, shot girl. Guess, Kelly, what her bill looked like after shot guy.
Oh, God.
There was a lot of shot
I
guy.
felt like we kept accumulating people. They were all our people.
Yes.
And
but it
we'd
was so
be like,
nice.
come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. And every time someone new came, we had to order another round of shots.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, shot guy was we fed shot guy well that night. So we had a really good time up there and just danced. I mean, we danced until the end. I think we danced till they closed the party down, and then we danced some more downstairs. Like, we had the best Scarlet Night ever. Like, I really had. I shouldn't say ever, but like
really fun.
It was really fun. As cold as we were, it was still really, really fun. But I was really nervous that they were going to pull it from there because we heard it was going to be windy and the fact that it was cold. But the only person that didn't show up was the diva, which was very disappointing. I think the diva hid and said her lines from afar because she did say her lines, but she was not there. But everyone else was there. And they got in the water, which I was like really impressed with. So the dancers were in the water and everything. So it was super impressive.
And a lot of people were in the pool. A lot.
Yeah.
For it being that cold and that windy, we were like, you can't get out. Once you're in, you can't get out.
No.
You're going to freeze. It's probably warmer where you are. And then there's no towels like nearby. You have to get out and like go get one.
I was like, if Towel Boy was here.
Towel Boy was not there.
Towel Boy was
standing with his
annoying
bunch of towels.
Like this.
Nope.
Are you girls going to get out of the pool? Oh my gosh.
No towel boy.
No
so
towel
I
boy.
kept saying, those people don't know that they have to get out and walk to find a towel.
Yeah. That's so funny. So I did say, though, I was like, you know what? It's probably going to be the warmest in the pool, honestly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, anyways, Scarlet Night was great. Super great. Hold on. Just giving a look-see here. And then the next day was a sea day, and that's when we actually worked some more, and we did
afternoon tea as we worked
we afternoon tea
sat in the sip lounge for maybe 5 hours.
We sat in the sip lounge for a long time.
I remember talking to Michael.
We took up shop, and
he said, I didn't see you all day yesterday. I said, did you go to the sip lounge? Because that's
move.
where we were all day in the same spot.
But that was also the night that, oh, you guys, this was the night we were in Arctic Circle. I just realized that. So we had dining to do for our Girls Gone Cruising, and we've got like 48 people to do dining for. The group's larger than that, but not everyone wants to eat with us. I don't know why, but I mean, I guess I'm not cool enough to eat with. I'm totally kidding. Not everyone wants to eat with us, but we had about 48 people we needed to do dining for. So we made this plan. So dining opens at midnight. We made this plan to get up at 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. and I feel lonely. Sorry. But dining didn't open till 4 because we were 4 hours off, strangely enough, in the Arctic Circle, apparently.
Because that's the night we switched times. Remember, we were like, I don't know what time it is.
Yes,
we were
uber confused. So we stayed up to do dining, but we were in the Arctic Circle, and you guys, I've never experienced this before. It never, ever got dark. Ever. At 3 a.m., it was light as day outside. I was like, what the hell? Is it 6 a.m.? 7 a.m. Nope, 3 a.m. It was the craziest thing on the planet.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it never gets dark.
Yeah, and that was the only so in Iceland, it got dark late and it still got dark, but in the Arctic Circle, because you go up, we were in the North Sea, you go up and you actually go into the Arctic Circle and you come back down. I don't know why I'm not a seaman. Is that the right word? Captain? I don't know what it is. Anyways, we go up there and it literally was it did not turn dark, which was the craziest thing on the planet. And it throws you off big time if you've never experienced it. Like at 10:30, you're like, oh crap, that's why I'm tired. It's 10:30, it's not 6 p.m. Like you think that it's like super early and it's nowhere near that. You're like, oh wait, it's midnight and it's still, and that's what was happening. Like it was midnight and it'd still be light out, which was crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy. But anyways, we did the afternoon tea, which was super fun. And the food is really good if you've never done it before. And you can do it with bubbles and tea, or you can just do it with tea. And then there's a bunch of different teas that you can do. So that was fun. I have no idea where we ate that night. I'm referring to...
You ate pizza and I ate in my cabin.
Really? Oh, because you were not feeling good.
Yes.
That's right.
It was very rocky that day.
The North Sea is not your friend sometimes.
Yeah. And I normally do okay. I think I was, still nursing a little hangover from the night before, but I don't know because I didn't start really feeling bad till like 4 p.m. So I say it might have been hangover, but I think it was definitely the waves were a little high for my taste.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't walk down the hall. You're zigzagging down the hallway. I would lay down in the bed and I'd get up and I felt like the room was like tilted. So it was pretty bad. But so yeah, I ate in my cabin. My husband went and got me stuff from the galley, and you went and had pizza.
Yeah, I did have pizza. It was delicious.
Yeah, that was an early to bed night.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to see. So the next day we went to Akureyri. Akureyri.
We don't know how to pronounce any of the Icelandic words.
Did I get it? Akureyri.
Sounds right.
Anyways, that's where we went next. But actually, the ride into Akureyri was absolutely beautiful because it was all through fjords and people saw whales and it was just gorgeous. So it was, in my opinion, way more gorgeous than Norway. People are like, oh, we're going through the fjords in Norway. Let me tell you something about those fjords in Norway. I feel like an asshole saying that, but it really was not that.
Yeah.
It's not the pictures they show you on Royal Caribbean where they're like, you can be in these fjords and it's like these big, gorgeous mountains and the little boats little. That's not what we went through. So just so you know.
No.
I know it's there. We just didn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and they made a big deal out about it. So
yeah,
I was like
set
all excited.
Your alarm, get up at 6 a.m.
I got up at 6 a.m. to watch these freaking fjords into Norway. And I was like, yeah, it looks like Alaska. I was like, why did I do? No, I mean, listen, I got to see it, which is amazing. So that's cool. But it still was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be these massive things. Akureyri going in, don't miss it. Absolutely beautiful. That's what you think you're going to see. I mean, the cliffs, the waterfalls, oh my God, Iceland was phenomenal. So I don't know, Kelly, what was the reason you did that? Like, what did you pick this cruise for?
Iceland.
Same. So the reason I picked it was for Iceland as well. So for when we got to Iceland, it was almost like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I mean, listen, we could have taken a freaking plane over there, but I was very excited.
You totally can now that we've done it.
Yeah. But it's so true. We were like, we're so excited to get there. But so it was cool. We went to 3 different towns in Iceland and literally had the best time in all 3 of them. I can't tell you, Iceland has my heart. Like, I say that about a lot of places, but honestly, truly, I absolutely adored that place. I thought it was phenomenal and I can't wait to go back. I would like to go back one more time. So we landed in Akureyri. So if you do get to sail in there, listen to me. We dock in Akureyri. Just know that it's spelled with an AKU. It'll come up. And we end up walking through the town because our excursion was later. And we end up walking through the town, but we bring all of our stuff. The little town's tiny, but it was busy that day. And we ended up having some food because we're like, we're doing this whitewater rafting. What if we get starved? What if we starve to death because it's going to be long? What if we fall overboard and no one finds us and that we're really starving and we have to eat off the land? At least we will have known that our last meal was closer than we thought is what we're thinking, right? So we eat there, which was, it was really bar food and it was okay. And then we get on the bus to go to whitewater rafting. Now, this was the one that I was telling you guys that this was another Virgin Shore thing. This was the one where it literally confused the heck out of us on what to wear. Okay. It was bring your bathing suit, wear waterproof things, layer up. It's going to be cold, but bring your bathing suit. We were like, what the heck? Where's a bathing? We could not figure this out for the life of us. So we get there, we get on the bus and there's 3 different buses, way more than I ever thought there'd be. And one of them was tiny. I think the one we were on was actually tiny. We get on the bus and the guy shows up and he's like, all right, we're going to go whitewater rafting. We were like, okay, great. So we're all excited about it. And I don't know when he finally decided, but it was an hour and a half away to get there. So first of all, that was not exciting in any way, shape, or form for me. Hour and a half away from the boat on a bus with people that I don't know, not my idea of a good time. But that's how you get there. So one has to take one for the team. So we go and we're like the 3rd bus to get there or the 2nd bus. We were last to show up, weren't we? I can't remember.
I think we were.
So there was all these people in this room. Well, what he told us as we were getting there, he's like, listen, you're going to have to get changed when you get there and you're going to put this on and this on. And we're like, okay, sure, fine, whatever. So we get in there and they actually explain it to us. And they're like, you have to put this whole suit on. You have to put a wetsuit on. Then on top of the wetsuit, you have to put another wetsuit jacket. Then on top of the wetsuit jacket, you have to put on a windbreaker jacket. And then on top of all that, you've got to wear this helmet and their boots that they gave you. Okay. And I was like, what the hell did I dress in all this clothes for? Pointless. So the way that the description said was we were going whitewater rafting, we were jumping off cliffs, and we were going to hang out in hot tubs or hot springs.
I think it said hot tub.
Did it say hot tub?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in my head it said hot spring, just so you know. So the guy explains to us this is what we're doing on the bus. He's like, you're going whitewater rafting, you can jump off cliffs, and then you're going to get to go in the hot tub afterwards. And I was like, well, that sounds like a good ending to a very, very crazy time. So... But then when they start telling us all the stuff we're going to put on, I'm like, where are my clothes going? So he then proceeds to say, wear your bathing suit, which is the reason why
in
you
the
need
bag.
Yeah.
Not on the body.
Right. So neither one of us put our bathing suit on because in my head, I'm thinking I'm wearing it in the hot tub because I'm going to wear my waterproof things on the whitewater rafting because they told me to layer. So I left my bathing suit in the bag thinking that I was going to change into that whether or not I was going in the hot tub. So he's like, wear your bathing suit or you can just wear your underwear and bra. And I thought to myself, I don't want to sit in those things for an hour and a half wet if I somehow fall in. I didn't want to sit in there. So I was like, I guess I'm putting this bathing suit on. So they shove you into this massively large changing room with all the women. So there's a men and women's change. It's literally back in high school. People get ready for all of the memories to come back from high school because this is what happens. You get shoved into this changing room and you are now told, or not told, but, expected to change. So I'm like, how are we getting this bathing suit on? And now, just so you know, the door is opening and closing because women are going in and out because their shoes don't fit or they can't get their wetsuit on because wetsuits aren't easy to get on. They can't find this. They need this. They didn't get this. So the door is opening and closing and nobody gives a crap who's in what condition while they're opening the door. Right. And they should, because, listen, you're under a time crunch and there's 60 of us trying to change at this point. Like, no one should care. We shouldn't be waiting for everyone to be dressed and then opening the door. It's going to take too long. I get it. But it doesn't make it easy when you're there. So there's one bathroom. So we're all trying to get in this one bathroom to put our bathing suits on. Or go to the bathroom for that matter, because now you're about to get dressed up in all the things, and there's no peeing after that. No men.
An hour and a half bus ride.
Yeah, no men, no women are peeing after they get dressed in this. Sorry, I mean you can pee in your own suit, I'm sure, but there's no way you're getting out of the suit. So we're all trying to go pee, and we're also trying to get on this bathing suit or whatever it is that we've chosen to wear. So we do this. Well, everyone's having a hard time getting these suits on. So just know that wetsuits, if you've never put one on, they're not easy to get on, especially dry. So we finally all get it on. Well, mine is astronomically large for me. It's like literally built for an extra large male. And I was like, what am I doing this? So I go outside to tell him, I go, I think this is too big. But let me tell you something. I was not putting on another one because you're out of breath. By the time you're done putting this thing on, because you're like literally, like even though it was large, I'm still trying to get my foot through it. I'm like hopping up and down. I'm like trying my hardest to get this thing on. And so I was like, I'm not doing that again. So I go out there and I show him, he's like, you're fine. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, see you later, people. I'm drowning in this suit. I'm falling overboard and drowning in my own suit. So he's like, just put this jacket on. So anyways, we put the jacket on. We get dressed. You get dressed and then you have to go back into the bus to go 25 more minutes to get to the actual launch. Well, now you've got all the things on you. You've got a helmet. You're dressed to the nines and it's hot as hell in there, even though it's cool outside. So you're like, oh my God, the things are fogging up. Like it's not my idea of a good time. So 25 minutes. We've got Mark with us and Mark's like, I'm going to film with my 360. And I looked at him, I go, you're not filming with that 360 camera. He's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, no, you're not. Trust me when I tell you this. If you've never whitewater rafted, you're not filming with that 360 camera. So he doesn't listen to me. He brings the camera out. He's filming everything and he's got all the things. And the guy starts telling us what we're going to do. And he's like explaining how it works and that you have to paddle when the guy tells you to paddle. When your guide tells you to paddle, you've got to stop when he tells you. You've got to get down when they tell you to get down. You've got to, do all these things. And so Mark quickly realizes that the 360 camera is not the best idea. So it goes back in the bus, but thankfully Kelly and I have metas at this point. So we are metaing it up with the metas. So when we get to the actual launch spot, they had said it was a family raft. When we looked at it, we were like this. I'm not so sure that that's very family friendly. Like it was going at speeds, like if you dropped something, it would have been down by the end in seconds. Like it was flying by and it was super rough, even where we were launching from. So the only other time I had whitewater rafted was in Costa Rica on Adventures by Disney. And obviously Adventures by Disney is definitely going to take you on a family raft, right? Because but we still had really, really big. We did 2s and 3s actually on ABD, but they wouldn't tell us what this was, but they said it was a family one with a little bit more extra. It was extra today because they didn't know why, but everything was just running off and it was super fast. So we were like, great. So we go to get in the boat and he's like, all right, who wants to sit in the front? Well, none of our people volunteer. So Kelly and I are looking at each other. We're like, what are we going to do? I was like, Kelly, we got to get in the front. Nobody else is wanting to get in the front. And Kelly's like,
I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, fine. I'll get in the front. And I go, but I was like, I didn't tell her this, but I'm like, I think we're going to get the wettest up here, but it's fine. It's fine. So she gets in the front and I was like, Kelly, I have a bad, like almost frozen shoulder on this side. It's not as bad as this one that I did, but this one's really a hot mess. So I was like, I got to be on this side so it's easier to use. So she's like, okay. She got on that side and we're in the front. And then we've got Mark behind her and then the McFarlanes behind them. And then we've got 2 in the back. So we had a couple in the back with us. And this woman was sitting in the back with our guide. So the 2 of them were across the back of the boat. So our guide comes up to us and he's like telling us what to do. He's like, all right. He's looking at Kelly and I. He's like, all right, you two, you got to do this together. He's like, you gotta make sure that you go together. And I was like, okay, we got this. We're kind of together. Like, I mean, we're literally like, partners for life at this point. Like, we're good. So he's like, okay, but you got to go together. And I'm like, Kelly. So I look at Kelly. I was like, we got to do this together. She's like, I got it. Like, she's like yelling at me. So we're up there yelling at each other. So he goes, he's starting to push us off. And I was like, what's your name? And he's like, Norris. Like Chuck Norris. And I was like, all right, Chuck. I go, wait, whoa, where are you going? Because he's like pushing us off. I go, you're getting in this boat, right? He's like, yeah, I'm getting in. I go, no, I'm dead serious. I was like, you better get this. I'm screaming at him. I'm like, you better get this boat, Chuck. And so he turns us around and this little guy like hops right in. Like he's like freaking Mario. Like he from Super Mario Brothers. He's like, bing. He's like in. And I was like, what the heck is happening here? So he gets in and he's like, row. Like, what did he say? No, forward. He just yells forward. So we're all like, oh my God. The minute we start going, we hit the first rabbit. Because I'm not kidding when I tell you that. Like, this was no family event, okay? Kids would have bonked out of there like faster than anyone could have reached for him and grabbed him back in. So we go in the first thing and everyone's screaming. Like, we were like, ah! Like screaming bloody murder. Water just splashes up on us. We're now going sideways down the thing. I'm panicking. We almost hit. Do you remember we almost honest to God, I at this point I'm like regretting my decision of like, I'm super cool. I'm going to go whitewater rafting when we almost hit the bridge. Cause there was like this little mini bridge that was right there. And we what is it called when you slide in the car? We drifted into the bridge and like almost hit the side of it and Kelly's screaming bloody murder. I mean, we were a hot mess in the front. No one should have put us in the front, but we had the best time ever. Like super, super fun. And so then, he's screaming at us, forward. And then Mark is in the middle and he is, trying his hardest and oh no. That's who it was. Sorry. The McFarlanes were actually behind me. And I could hear Karen telling me, forward, Samantha, forward. And then I'd stop sometimes because I thought I heard the guy stop. And she'd yell at me again, Samantha, we're still going. I'm like, oh my God. We had the best time. We had so much fun. We got soaking wet. Like Kelly, I think, got soaked the most, honestly. I know I got wet, but I really swear that Kelly got the brunt of it. I don't know why. It just could have been the way that we were turned or whatever. And there were many times that I almost fell in. I mean, you fly up in the air and just come back down. Well, at one point we saw that one guy fall in the water. And that was it. We all hung on for dear life at that point because we were like, once we saw the one guy fall in the water, and I only saw the aftermath.
I only saw the after too.
Because who said it? Somebody said, "Oh my God, he fell in." So I didn't see him actually fall in. I guess I could go back to the meta footage and see if maybe
I
it
didn't
caught
look
it.
to see if I got it either.
Because I'd love to see how he actually fell in, but he was in, man, and they rescued him fast. Like they were like and pulled him right back in, but he looked a little stunned after that, and I was not having it. So I was not falling in. That was for sure happening. And so then we stopped, really cool. We stopped at a hot spring and they made us hot chocolate.
Yeah, right there on like a little mountain. We were like, why are we stopping? Because there were maybe 4 or 5 different boats and everyone was like beaching.
Yeah, it was
and
really
we were
weird.
Like, what's happening? Why are we pulling over?
Chuck didn't tell us nothing. Listen, let me tell you something about Chuck. He was fierce and like he was savage. He knew exactly what he was doing, but he gave us no instruction other than forward, stop, backward. That was it. And meanwhile, we're like, oh my God, hopefully Chuck knows survival tactics because I think we're going to end up in the freaking like down the river somewhere. But anyways, keep going. So we didn't know why everyone was stopping.
Yeah. So
no one told us anything.
Off the boat and you kind of walk on rocks and water.
Yeah. You almost die. You almost kill yourself. Truly.
And then we get there and you find a little stump to sit on and they made hot chocolate right out of the spring.
And nobody had any issues, just so you know, with our digestional system. Digestional? What am I trying to say? Digestive systems the next day.
They literally made it in the Swiss Miss. Yeah.
Swiss Miss. Isn't it Swiss Miss?
Tub. They were pouring the water in there, shaking it up, and pouring it in cups for us.
Yeah, it was delicious.
It was really good.
I had 2 cups.
I did too.
Strangely enough.
And but that water was hot. I mean, I stuck my hand in it.
I didn't. Once you said that, I wouldn't touch it.
Well, my hands were also freezing because they don't give you gloves.
Yeah, we didn't
get
gloves.
They give you everything but gloves, and I think that gloves would have been helpful.
You had to touch the T handle.
I know, but gloves would have been helpful.
I agree.
Because my hands were
freezing because our hands were getting.
They were wet. They were
and I kept
wet.
hitting my nail on the one thing. I broke more nails than you could possibly imagine. It sounds very high maintenance again, but I really did because there was like something right there, and I would go like this and pull.
Yeah, it was the little ring.
Yeah,
for the shit bar.
The shit bar. That's right. You did say that.
Or rope.
Yeah, the shit rope. So we had hot chocolate there, which was so good, and then we got back in, and then down the river we went. And as we were going down the river, he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is where you were supposed to jump off the cliffs." And we were like, "Supposed to?" He's like, "Yeah, it's way too crazy today to jump off any cliffs." And we were like, "Okay." I still don't know how we were supposed to get up the cliff to jump off the cliff, and it was uber shallow, so I still don't know how that was supposed to work out and where we were. It was not something I would have done anyways because it just didn't seem safe in any way, shape, or form. Now, it probably was. It just didn't seem it. So I don't think I would have done it had they given us the chance anyways because it would just seem very odd. So we were supposed to jump off cliffs, and then it wasn't much longer after we got there or after we passed that we were done. So then we beached ourselves again and we parked. Well, as we were parking and everyone was kind of getting out, this freaking raft came in like a bat out of hell and hit the side of us and literally threw Kelly on top of me. I went on top of her. I slammed my oar on top of her hand. Like, it was the crash of all crashes.
We were like, oh, we made it. No one fell in. No one got hurt. We go to stand up to get out, and boom, down we went.
Yeah. And I mean, when I tell you, because somebody said, watch out. So, of course,
it was too late.
I turned around to look, and I'll never forget the look on the guide's face as he was coming at us so fast. But I thought, how the hell did you go that fast? We didn't even dock. I don't mean to say dock, but we didn't even beach that fast. Like, I don't even know where it was coming from.
And it was so shallow when I was putting the oar in. You're touching the bottom. So I don't know how they went that fast.
I don't either. Like, it was crazy. I mean, when I tell you they slammed into us, and like we all just went all into each other. And Kelly got her hand crunched, so that was terrible. And then the guy got yelled at. Like the guide actually got yelled at because our guide was like, "What are you doing, man? Like, what are you new here?" Like he was like, "What the heck?" So and then we got out of the boat and we went back to the place.
25 minutes.
25 minutes
in
back.
Our wet suits.
Yes, because everything was super wet. And honestly, I'll tell you, we went over that. I will tell the story really quickly because it was hysterical. We were going over this one rapid, and I heard the girl in the back that was in the back with Chuck Norris scream, and I was like, oh, shit. And I turned around to see her fly up in the air because, she's in the back. Like, what happens in the back of something. You go flying in there. And he literally, without a flinch, grabs her, pulls her back down, and keeps going like this. I literally died. I was like,
Chuck Norris.
I was like, damn it, Meadows. Why weren't you working at that moment? Like, no joke. He didn't even look at it. He was like, ding, ding. And I was like, wow, we really scored on that one. Like Chuck Norris was amazing. It was hysterical. And he was funny, but he wasn't. Like, he was straight to the point. Like when the same girl that nearly flew out of the thing, she's like, can I swim in the water? And he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. But make sure you're hanging on to the old ship bar. And she was like, okay. So she gets in the water and she's laying there. She's like, anybody else? I was like, oh, hells no. I'm not getting in that water.
It was freezing.
It was
cold.
freezing. And not only that, but it was disgusting too.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting because it was flowing so quickly. But normally it's like a pretty blue clear. But because it was crazy rapid, it was just dirty brown, disgusting. It looked like it belonged in like Egypt for some reason. Like it was disgusting. The Nile, I should say, not Egypt, the Nile. And so anyway, she ends up she's like, can I, so after this is the best part. She's hanging off the end, right? And we're floating around and she's hanging on for dear life. Okay. And we're all floating. We didn't have to do any work at that point because it was just the water was just taking us and there wasn't any rapids, which is why she was just kind of floating. She was like, can I get back in? And she literally, and it's like her little head was like under, like down far. She's like, can I get back in? And he was like, ugh. Okay. He tried to get her back in. He couldn't get her back in. I was like, oh, I couldn't save her anymore. But anyway, so she did that. And then we, like I said, Kelly and I got smushed together. We go back to the place. Now we've got to get undressed. Okay. So now we've got undressed and we've got to change back into our clothes because the hot tubs were off the table because we were late and we needed to go eat the meat soup. I forgot that they were offering us meat soup and I was like, what the hell is meat soup? But I'm like, you know what? When in Akureyri, you meat soup. So we all get changed. We go to the meat soup and it was lamb soup. So it was literally like a chicken broth soup with veggies and potatoes and whatnot in it. So it was a clear broth soup. I shouldn't say chicken. It was definitely a clear broth soup with veggies and potatoes and whatnot, but it had chunks of lamb meat. It was so freaking good. I didn't think I was ever going to like that. And the bread was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, it could have been the fact that I was happy that I didn't die on the river and that I was starving, but it was still good.
Yeah.
It was really good. And so we ate that and then we got back on the 2-hour bus and went home. I went back to the ship. I couldn't tell you what we ate that night. Nothing, I don't think. Oh no, we had the galley or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the galley and we met these. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Oh, we met a couple of people that watch our podcast and follow us, which I will say thank you. Anybody that totally does that, we love it. It's hysterical. So I met this, I didn't really actually meet her, but she was super cute. She was walking into the galley. This was one of my favorite things that happened. Second favorite thing that happened with meeting people. And we're walking into the galley, or she's walking into the galley, and I'm reading her shirt, so I'm kind of staring at her. So she probably was like, why the heck is this woman staring at me? Well, that's probably what got her attention towards me. And so she looks at me, and she goes, oh, you're Samantha. And I was like, why, yes, I am. And she was like, well, I watch you all the time. And I was like, oh, awesome. She goes, this is so cool. I'm seeing Samantha in the wild. And I was like, oh, I need a shirt that says Samantha in the wild. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Samantha in the wild is like my new favorite phrase ever. And we should name a show that. Samantha in the Wild. I don't know that anyone wants to see that, though. It's kind of interesting. So I thought that was really funny. But while we were sitting there eating the galley, we were telling my mom and your mom, right? That's who was sitting with us.
Yeah.
The story of what happened. And these two ladies were sitting next to us, and they were eating their dinner. And all of a sudden, they were like, oh, what are these two talking about? They did not stop listening to us. It was so funny. They were like, so what'd you guys do? Like, they started getting involved in this conversation. We hadn't even met them. They're like, so would you guys do it again? I was like, I would. They go, not telling from the story. It doesn't sound like you would do it again. And I was like, no, I would. I'm just a little dramatic. I was like, but I still would do it again. Like, they were so funny. They were like, really? You do it? Like, and it was almost like they were eating their popcorn or like ice cream, like, like, oh my gosh, this is the best story ever. Like, it was really, they were hysterical listening to us, but I think they thoroughly enjoyed our story of our whitewater rafting because our parents did what? I don't remember what our parents did.
They went to a waterfall.
Yes, there's many a waterfall in Iceland.
Many waterfalls.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful waterfalls.
Beautiful. But many a waterfall.
Yeah.
So they did that. And then the next day we went to a waterfall and that one was absolutely gorgeous. Now, it said here's another one with descriptions. It said in the description, comfortable walking shoes. I was like, okay, I'll put on my sneakers. I'll wear my jeans.
Sneakers.
I'll put on my white sneakers. I'll wear my jeans. I won't wear my hiking pants. I won't wear my hiking boots I spent a lot of money on. I'll wear these things because now I've worn all the other things many times. Anyway, let me tell you something. I've never been so angry walking up a waterfall in my entire life. Like everyone I passed, I was like, why didn't Virgin tell me I needed to wear my... Like literally I yelled at everyone as I walked up. I was so angry and I could not stop saying, not only that, did I dress in layers. And by the time I was halfway up this waterfall, I was stripping naked because I was so hot from walking up the waterfall. It was not walking up a waterfall like, oh, this is a fun staircase. I'm going to go up it. We were majorly hiking in mud and uneven steps in mud, in fauna, in flora, in all the things.
All the things. Sometimes there were stairs, sometimes there weren't. There's people coming down, so you have to get out of the way. It was very muddy.
It was treacherous.
Wet. It was, yeah.
But absolutely gorgeous. And it was very high up. So I will say that, there was a lot of panting involved and a lot of working out involved and angry that I missed my last workouts because that was not easy, but we nailed it anyway. But mostly angry about the non-hiking boots for this event. So I was very angry about that.
We both of us had white shoes on.
Yeah.
We both had white sneakers that were completely muddy by the time we got back down.
Yeah, and people were probably annoyed with me because I literally was trying to walk not in the mud and trying to avoid all the mud that I could possibly avoid, right? And that was not a thing at all. But it was beautiful.
Where are the boots?
Where are the boots? Listen, it doesn't matter. Just I'm telling you, you go on this cruise like this, just wear the boots. Don't try to, be like, oh, let me wear my sneakers today. Nope. Don't do it. Stupid. It's not point. It's pointless. So, but that waterfall, beside my anger, that waterfall was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was.
And another thing too, if had I worn the boots, I would have went to an even better spot for the water. So there was a whole nother section that I didn't go to. I made it to the top. We both made it to the top. But then there was this, you were literally scaling the mountain and getting this one spot where you were almost touching the thing. You could have been touching it. I don't even honestly know. But I did not go that way because listen, I had Skechers sneakers on. What were they going to traction me up? I'm lucky I didn't slip down the mountain on the way down.
I know.
So anyway, wear the boots. So we did this gorgeous waterfall. Couldn't tell you the name of it. And then we went to a sheep farm, which was phenomenal. We had the best time. We went into their back forest. They gave us drinks. We roasted marshmallows. They told us about sheep and herding sheep and how it works. Now, the one thing about Iceland that I will tell you that I absolutely loved was there was literally sheep everywhere. Sheep everywhere. Mm-hmm. Not only were they everywhere, but apparently they belong to specific farmers. They let them roam wherever they want, which I think is really cool. So they're allowed to roam wherever they want, but then they have the sheep herding day. I don't know. It's got to be a week, don't you think?
I guess. I don't know.
So they have this sheep herding week or day, and they all get together and go out and find their sheep, and they start herding them. And they showed us a video about it. They said it's the funnest time on the planet. And I was like...
They get the kids involved.
Yeah. I told Kelly, we're coming back. I want to herd sheep. I want to stay at this little hotel in the middle of nowhere and herd sheep and just bah my way around. Don't go this way. Bah, bah, bah. So that is my plan. I want to herd sheep. So the people that owned the hotel, super cute family, I go up to him and I was like, hey, do you need any sheep herders? That's me. And he looked at me like I was insane. I was like, I'm dead serious, guy. I was like, can I stay here at this hotel and come back and herd sheep? And he was like, sure, everyone does it. I was like, all right, I'll see you then. When is it? He was like, never. No, just kidding. He told me a date. I don't know what it was, but they were super fun. And our guide was super fun too. She was super sweet. She married an American man, and he was the one that was making drinks for us. And the drink was called what, Kellers? You don't remember?
No.
We drank it so much after that.
Oh.
The gimlet.
Oh, basil?
Basil gimlet.
Basil gimlet.
Yeah.
Oh, I had basil gimlets everywhere.
Oh my God. After we had that, it was best there. I'll be honest. It was much better there, but we had it everywhere. Every time I saw it on the menu, I was like, done.
Yeah.
Give me a basil gimlet. And I, felt no pain after that. So it was gin. I don't drink gin, but it was phenomenal. And then we roasted marshmallows, which was super fun. And then we did not meet sheep because I'm okay with not meeting sheep. I'm like, we had a sheep right here and it was fun that he was right there, but I don't need to pet him. I'm good. And so then we got on the bus and drove another hour and a half home.
Everything is so far away. I mean, you're in a bus for hours. Just do it because you're going to miss out if you don't.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we got back. Was that the one where I rented the thing? Yes, it was. That was the one where I rented my mother wanted to rent this scooter thing. She's like, come on, let's rent the scooter thing. And I had a hit and run. Not really. It was so not that. But we might have had a little mini accident, but nothing happened to anything. But it was funny. She was like, you are not driving anymore. She cut me off, but I was hitting the button. I was like, beep, 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 beep. I was having the best old time. So we did have a good time with that. But we ended up in a pub to have brennivin.
Yes.
So in Akureyri, we saw this sign that said Black Death. And I was like, what the heck is Black Death? We're like, it's got to be some like Iceland drink, right? So while we were on the tour that we had the gimlets and we saw the sheep and had the crazy waterfall non-hiking experience, she was like, do you have any questions? I'm like, yeah, what's Black Death? She's like, oh. She's like, that's brennivin. And I was like, brennivin? What the heck is that? So she's like, it's our Icelandic drink here, basically. And I was like, okay, so we got to try it. So we went on this hunt for brennivin. And so we end up in this pub and we all try it. And it was so not good. But definitely try it. But not good at all. I can still taste it, actually. When I talk about it, I can still taste it. And I can feel my palate raise like I want to gag because it's not good at all. So another thing is Kelly's dad was on the trip with us and he was into eating all kinds of different things. So he had haggis in Scotland and fish in Bergen and gosh, I'm probably missing all kinds of reindeer, something or other somewhere else. And he really was trying all the things. So he heard that you needed to eat fermented shark in where the heck are we?
Iceland. Well,
Iceland,
I think it was just
Iceland.
Iceland.
Just Iceland?
General,
okay.
Yeah.
So he asked our guide, because again, she was phenomenal. He was like, where do I get this Iceland shark? And she's like, oh, nobody eats that. And he's like, well, I want to eat it. And she's like, all right, well, I guess you better go to the grocery store. So the little town that we were in, Ísafjörður, that's where we were. So Ísafjörður was actually closed because it was a bank holiday or a religious holiday or some sort of holiday. So the entire town was pretty much closed, which kind of sucked for us. I'm going to be honest. I really wish Virgin would have looked into that a little bit. Not that I don't know what they could have done, to be honest, but it just not that they would have changed the obviously holiday. That's not what I'm asking, but maybe changed, where we stopped. So it was a holiday there. And so nothing was really open. Well, anyways, he went to the grocery store and he gets this fermented shark. And so he comes into the pub before we all drink the brennivin and everyone's like, oh, we're all excited for him. Did you get your shark? He's like, yeah, but he's like, he goes, it smells like hell. And we were like, no, it can't be that bad. Like, it probably just smells like fish. He's like, we're like, just open it. He goes, no, I am not opening it in this pub. He goes, it will stink up the whole place. We're like, no. Well, I think he even just pulled it out of the bag and we were all like, oh, we could smell it. It was something very simple that he did. And we were like, oh man, it was, think of the smell of dead fish or fish. It was worse than that. Okay. Way worse.
It was bad.
I don't know that we could even describe the horrific stench that came from this fermented shark. Okay. So he ends up opening it, I think later, because I think we'd all had a little bit to drink. So we might've convinced him.
It was outside.
Oh, he did end up outside with
yeah.
it? Well, I thought he did it once in the pub. No, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember.
Well, then we all decide that we want to try a beer or something. Someone decides they wanted to try a local beer. So that we end up back at the pub. So Jean Lash and I take the random scooter thing to the pub. They walk back to the pub. We meet them at the pub. And so we're all outside. Everyone's having a good old time. Everyone's drinking or whatever. And he's like, I got to eat the shark. And we're like, okay, good. You're outside. Perfect. No one's going to smell it. I kid you not. And I'm not exaggerating. The minute he pops the top, we all smelled it. And it's not like we were like sitting at a table next to each other. I think my mom and I were like way far back. He was over there and I just started, because I knew I did not want to smell it. So I had backed up. The minute he did that, I was gagging. My palate was raising. I was a hot mess. It smelled so bad. And he was even gagging. He was doing a good job of trying not to gag, but you could tell he was like, like he was like having a hard time. So anyways, he's like, I'm going to eat it. Well, he digs his fingers in and he pulls out this one thing and he eats it. And you can see his face like but you don't see him gagging. He's doing a good job. And then he gets done. He's like, wasn't so bad. And then all of a sudden, I just watched the video again, which is why I remember this. All of a sudden he goes, oh, no, that was bad. That was bad. Like he was like, it like did a second. I don't know what happened the second time around. I have no idea, but oh gosh. So then somebody else ate it, but we were like, keep it close. It smelled so bad.
It lingered and we were outside.
Yeah, we were outside. It was terrible. Don't get fermented shark. Please don't do that to anybody around you. It's awful. So anyways, Paulette made him throw it out in the garbage there. Thank God, because I think the whole ship would have stunk like fermented shark. It was so bad. So that happened. Well, anyways, we went back. My mom and I actually went back. We left them in the pub to hang out for a little bit. And then I don't remember what the heck we did that night. Honestly, couldn't tell you.
It was probably an early to bed night again because it was a long day and
it was
bus rides and waterfall hiking.
Waterfall, yep. Mm-hmm.
That was a long day.
Yeah, so we probably went to bed. And I don't even know what we ate that night. I think we had pizza again. I honestly don't know.
It might have been. We did go to pizza.
Yeah. Thank you for joining part 2. You have one more part to go. I think we broke it into 3 parts, which is really exciting. Again, super long cruise, but the best one. So thanks for joining and stay tuned next week for part 3. And I'll leave you with our favorite phrase, which is, you float our boat. Bye, everyone.